So what's really so I'm talking about Colin Mahal Village. He's a friend on Facebook. He has like 23 mutual friends, including Erica McCallie and Wilder Walker Stewart. And these guys are really engaged in terms of shaping the public affairs of their region. And I've been friends with him since February 2019. His profile picture says "Stay home, stay alive, stay save a life." And it's great. Yesterday, I think the Prime Minister Justin Trudeau announced. It was a mind-sweeping announcement. He basically said that the Canada government is prepared to help Canadians. There are a lot of Canadians who are going through, shortages in terms of, earnings, forecasts. There are many tax changes that are happening at the federal level, and he is basically now even moving towards providing the sweeping reforms at each provincial level. Like there are 10 provinces and 3 territories, and he's actually trying to decentralize the power and get each province excited about ways in which like global crisis could be solved. And last 5 days were very eventful. There have been so many, like I know 1,000 at least 1,000 contacts in my area. Each of those contacts were busy sharing their issues around the global epidemic, and they've just been like they've just tightened their levels of social distancing. So they're saying that, and honestly, today I ended up going to a large mall, and most of the retail stores were closed because everybody is practicing social distancing. And people are staying indoors, people are staying safe, people are just focusing in terms of going only for essential travel and trying to cut down on all the non-essential travel if it is not that helpful. And yeah, so I really like this little I loved PM Trudeau's announcement yesterday, wherein he's actually being at the forefront of enduring the social distancing. And I also liked the very idea that social distancing is really about maintaining a little bit of a distance with people around you. That there was a time when everybody would share political news wherein two political leaders are sharing air kisses. But now it's like the times have changed, things have changed. You don't know who's going where, so it's always good to kind of maintain a little bit of a distance. Maybe not shake hands. Basically focus in terms of just observing people, but just looking at only connecting with people through phone or email. And yeah, and then at the end of the day, based on the level of a relationship, take it to the next level. And relationship financial services is big on relationship selling. Tech companies are big on relationships selling. Public affairs companies are big on relationship selling. Many online tutoring is based on relationships, and those relationships should not be governed by and those relationships should be more than food relationships. And honestly, I've seen very superficial relationships as well. I remember being I remember living in Hong Kong, and at that particular point of time, I used to find people having very superficial relationships where they would be building relationships over food. And it would be almost like everybody would be, a person's food is everybody's business. And, like couples would be eating food all the time. They would be having few intimate people who would be joining them in the restaurants and tables. But and there would be somebody who would be perpetually feeling hungry. And honestly, those food relationships are the most toxic relation, because at the end of the day, it's really not about the food, but it's about various stages of a relationship. So honestly, if you're in the first degree of a relationship, it's good to kind of look at, what are the topics of interest, what are the lifestyle choices that one is taking, what are the common interest areas, and it's always good to kind of know people in terms of the persona that they are. And every time I look at Colin, I feel that he's such a proper guy. He's so big on staying home. He's very good in terms of supporting some of the very political, experienced people in the Canadian House of Commons. But at the same time, he has gratitude. He lives with a lot of humility. He's privileged, but at the same time, he has a lot of humility. He is a very strong part of the Team Trudeau campaign. And yeah, it's been great knowing him, and it's been great being friends with him.